Last episode, we started our 2024 sailing season by leaving Miami and sailing to Bimini. We waited until the next weather window to then sail to Shroud Cay. From there, a couple of days passed waiting for another weather window, and then we headed to Nassau. One night there to rest, then on to our first stop in the Exuma chain, Highbourne Cay. Days are simple here. You get into a routine. Up with the sun, coffee while you take in the sunrise. Every morning is an illustration of exquisite colors, and every sunrise is unique. We get our workouts in however we can. This lifestyle is physically and mentally challenging. Staying healthy and strong is crucial, especially when we are often in remote locations where access to health care is limited. And wow, those Exuma blues, what a great view for our daily workouts. I'll take it. The Bahamas consists of 700 islands and 2,400 cays, or keys, with an area of 5,358 square miles, or 13,878 square kilometers. You could spend years exploring the Bahamian islands and still not see them all. The sheltered waters of the Bahamas make it some of the best sailing grounds in the world. Also, because the islands and keys are so close, it is always just a short sail away to the next destination. But the Exuma Islands in the Bahamas have our hearts. The Exumas have 365 islands and keys. It is perhaps best known for the secluded, pristine beaches and sapphire blue waters. In fact, the colors of the waters here are so spectacular that astronauts can see it from space. For them, it's one of the most recognizable points on the planet. On this day, however, we appreciate the beauty of Highbourne Cay.
Have you ever walked the high pass, watched the northern lights flash, took a photograph on a Paris street? Have you ever climbed a tall tree, asked someone for mercy, gave something away that wasn't free? I don't wanna get a vision of you stuck in my head, because I know that you were meant to be wilder. Another night of television while you're lying in bed, it's slowly gonna be the death of you. Have you ever really lived? You talk a big game, but it's just a matter of time. Have you ever really lived? We're all on the clock here. In the blink of an eye, you were gone. So for once in your life, try the deeper water, feel the pull of whatever is out there. And
was just a short sail away to Norman's Cay, where friends picked us up on their Intrepid for an adventure. We towed our dinghy and zipped next door to Shroud Cay. Here, we entered Sanctuary Creek, which is a mangrove-lined cut that goes from the bankside of the island all the way through to the ocean sound with an incredible white sand beach at the end. Along the way, we saw lots of sea life, including fish, a lot of turtles, and stingrays. It's important to know the tides here since it is very shallow, and it's best to enter on a rising tide. Dinghies are allowed on the creek at a slow speed.
golden days drifting far away. Light is leaving town. Colors fade, but I'm thinking we stay just for a little while. Let's lose track of time. Darling, stay for a little longer while I hold your time. We'll wait, so just rest your head upon my shoulder. Nothing in our way is colder, but the day's not over yet. Summer nights, watch them go by as we fight off the cold. Holding you tight, you know just what I'm thinking. I don't want this moment to go. No, I don't want this moment to go. Let's lose track of time. Darling, stay for a little longer while I hold your time. We'll wait, so just rest your head upon my shoulder. Nothing in our way is colder, but the day's not over yet.
So before the next segment, we want to talk about cold fronts because the next footage is a little scary. At least it was to me. Were you scared?
No, we were prepared.
So we have to talk about cold fronts because cold fronts are a fact of life in the Bahamas during cruising season, which is whenever hurricane season ends, November 30th through when hurricane season begins, June 1st. So we get cold fronts and lots of them, but you know, we're prepared.
So these cold fronts could be challenging, but if you're prepared, in our case we had a nice scope on our anchor, like 801 or 9 to 1. We were anchored in a nice sandy area. And we were in 15 feet of water, but we were prepared for what we thought it was going to be 40 to 50 miles per hour winds, and it turned out to be 75, 80 miles per hour. But we held, and nothing happened. We were more concerned about the Starlink flying off and losing the Starlink, but you know, it didn't happen. So everything turned out to be okay.
So what are the things we do? We do a number of things every time we have a cold front. We know it's coming. We check the weather multiple times a day.
So, you know, the anchor, make sure that we had 2 anchors out, and we were in sandy bottom. The dinghy was up, secured, and everything was secured around the boat. Nothing to be flown away. So we were prepared.
Yeah, but this storm took us a little by surprise because it was a supercell within the cold front. So while we were prepared for the worst, we were not mentally prepared. At least I wasn't for this. Were you prepared?
We were. And around us, we had some boats that actually had some problems.
Yeah, we were hearing maydays on the radio.
But anyways, you'll see.
Yeah, don't be scared. It's not scary. Once the storm passed, the skies cleared, the seas calmed, and we reflected on just how well our anchor held, even in the hurricane-force winds. The peak of the storm only lasted about 35 minutes, but it felt like a lifetime. Finally over, we were greeted with a spectacular sky, and the sun showed off those Exuma blues. Sunset that evening was a radiant show of red and orange against a sky and sea that just a few hours earlier raged. Rage turned into peace, and all was as it should be. We were where we should be. We are writing our own story. More than anything, we want to write a story our children will be proud of. Because a great story is not just meaningless scenes thrown together with collective moments of wasted time. It is creating memories that are sewn together and will leave a legacy behind of who we are, where we've been, and what challenges we have overcome along the way. A well-written story is reflective of a life well lived. We grow from our challenges out here as liveaboards, and each trial becomes a part of our story. So to my children now grown, friends and family, we would say, you can't see the future. You can only look back on the past and see the challenges you faced and the choices you made to overcome them. When you get to the last chapter of life, you will be able to look back and see how each choice evolved into a life well lived. So, live a great story.